a first time watch, and it was really shitty. That's not the name of the film, although it might have been
not where I thought you were going with that.
It's called Electric Dreams, and yes, they do play that song, and yes, it's absolutely terrible. So yeah, this film is ridiculous. It's the sort of movie I'd heard before, and it has a bit of a reputation. So it's about a computer kind of going slowly mad and turning evil almost, and wrecking this guy's life. And so it's 84, so it's at quite an early age in like the internet or computers and technology. So it's this kind of geeky, nerdy guy who has a crush on the girl next door. She's played by Virginia Madsen, so quite an early role for her. Same year she was in June, by the way. But so he has a crush on her, and she's like a violinist. I think she goes to like classical classes, and there's an interest there because he uses his computer for music. And there's this really odd random scene where she's in her apartment practicing, and the computer starts playing like classical music, and they can hear, like, she can hear it through the wall, and she just keeps playing, and it becomes this moment, but she doesn't know who it is in the other apartment. And this is where I think it turns a little bit into a stalker type film, because he then kind of pursues her. And I think they hit it off, but the underhanded thing is then she doesn't know it's him in the other apartment. Computer getting a mind of its own and kind of taking over and doing all sorts of wacky things. Another guy at like her practice where she kind of hits it off with him, who is like a perfectly nice guy, but the movie almost portrays him as like a villain. Whereas to me, the lead guy is much more of a villain, and that's like the problem I had. Because they do that thing later on in the movie where he does get a bit too big for his boots, like almost he suddenly feels more confident. And you do turn him into a bit more of an asshole. But there's inconsistencies like that where it's kind of like, well, I don't know what suddenly happened that makes him feel this confident. Like, there wasn't really enough in the movie. But one of the big problems is then you're expected to like this guy, and I just never did. And I just never felt chemistry between the two. And the movie really doesn't know what it wants to be, because it kind of wants to have a romantic element, but then it wants to do this, computers getting out of control, turning evil. And it wants to be other things. Like, it tries to be dark at times, but then it wasn't that sort of movie from the start. And it's just a mess of the film, because it even seems confused whether you're supposed to be sympathetic with the computer at one point. But it's really badly directed, because like, it looks like a collection of pop videos. That's what it's like watching it. Like, just one pop video after the other, rather than having everything connected. And I tell you what the best scene in the movie is, and it's one of those so bad, so cheesy, it's actually entertaining scenes. But you'll have to look the scene up later. But it's like the computer at one point actually sings like a love ballad. It's the guy in his room, and the computer is singing a love ballad. And they do this whole thing where the computer is like falling in love with the girl, sort of thing.
Oh, so
no! Oh God! I'm gonna have to look that up now.
Yeah. But it's funny, because it's sort of film I've heard people talk about, and then when I finally watched it, I thought, well, why do they like this film? It's terrible.
Question their entire taste in movies.
And also, it's the sort of movie I think you've seen done better in other movies, like because it felt a little bit like War Games, like that Matthew Broderick movie.
Mm-hmm. And that one was good.
I like that, and that's sort of this idea done much better. And
yeah, it also sounds a little like 2001: Space Odyssey.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
or her maybe.
Yeah, yeah.
Or iRobot.
But there's just some random scenes. Like, I mean, there's scenes where I'm like, well, what's going on? What's the story here? Because
Pick a lane.
there's a scene where they decide to spend some time together, and they randomly go to Alcatraz, and it's like, this is a romantic scene, and she's got like a hat from the gift shop, and then it cuts to the computer just at home doing the computer's own thing, and because it controls the TV, like it puts on like old movies and stuff. Like, it's terrible. It's like there's one or two amusing moments, but apart from that, it's absolutely terrible. So big thumbs up.
What's your preference? Apple, pear, wang?
Oh, listen, I don't know anything about computers.
Nobody does.
Miles just bought a computer, and he got more than he bargained for.
You're talking.
You noticed.
Madeline just moved in upstairs, and she's the girl he's falling for.
I can't play that for her. I want to squeeze you, lick you, pucker up, and kiss you. You make her sound like a lemon.
But I don't know what love is. You never told me.
Did you write that for me?
No, well, I mean, did you like it?
When Edgar comes between them,
I want to meet her.
things start to get electric.
You're taking over my life!
You sure you don't have a dog?
No, just a pest.